Hey everybody, welcome to Visual Communication Media. My name is Adam Rozeski. It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you. Hope everybody's having a great week this week. Hope everyone's doing well. So I figured I'd finish this week talking about logos and their importance and why they really matter within perceptual communication, especially with symbols and signs. Sorry about that, I got something caught in my throat. We talked a lot about symbols and how symbols are an identity to a lot of different things. And not only that, they mean multiple different aspects, but logos themselves are symbols as well. And they're very important, and they're going to really tie a lot, especially with your assignment this week. It's really going to help. Now, logos are a visual representation of the product, company, or experience. They directly correlate to that experience that that company's trying to show or produce. They need to be simple and easy to understand, and the font style and format must always be considered, including cultural elements. And the biggest thing about this is they need to translate in size. For example, Target is the place, it's the target of all places to find what you need and the different elements that are around it. Nike is the symbol for athleticism. It's the Greek athleticism symbol. And it ties into sportswear. They all directly correlate to the experience of one ties into the target of all shopping, and the other one deals with sport equipment. And each symbol represents their experience and also what they sell in a lot of ways. And logos are very specific, and they have different types as well. For example, there's the abstract mark. This is a mark that's specifically meant for that company, and the symbols and the colors match what they're trying to prove. For example, Pepsi uses the three colors of red, white, and blue to tie into the circle, and how the swoosh works to signify their company. And not only that, it's been their logo for years, and the colors and the way the swoosh works has always been their identification mark. It's abstract, but it means a lot more things with it, and also deals with the sun and some other different elements that are tied to it. Now there's also the mascot logo. The mascot logo is specific to having that one thing in front right off the bat. And then it's a mascot, much like Ronald McDonald for McDonald's. There's also I'm trying to think of another one that has a mascot that's pretty popular in a lot of ways. Burger King with the king, and then KFC with the Colonel. The Colonel's right there in front with the logo, with the acronym Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it's focusing on the mascot to be the driving force behind that logo to represent them in more ways than one. Now, there's also the combination mark. The combination mark ties two different marks or more together to create its own mark. For example, the Burger King logo uses an abstract mark to create a burger, and using the buns and the meat as the burger itself. And then it uses a word mark. And we'll talk about the word mark in a minute, but it's mainly just the word of the company right then and there. And usually word marks are kind of smaller names. You can't really use a really big name to make a word mark out of it. And Burger King works as a word mark. So it uses the word mark and the abstract mark combined to create it more. And that's what a combination mark is. It uses more than two or more items or two or more logo types to create that logo. Then there's also the emblem mark, the emblem logo. The emblem logo is very traditional, mainly dealt with heraldries, families, organizations, and schools. This one is for Harvard, where it has the wreath and the scroll with the shield with 3 books on it that says Veritas, which is the Latin word for truth. And Harvard has always been the place of knowledge and truth, and that's how they tie their experience into that logo. There's also NASA as well, the letter mark right down here. Now, letter mark is much like a word mark, where it spells out the name of the company, but unlike a word mark where it's the whole name, a letter mark is an acronym. And it's kind of hard to create a word mark with a huge organization name like National Administration Space Association. It's the same thing with like the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. You can't really brand that very well. So we take the first letter of each word and create an acronym out of it, and we build the letter mark from that, much like NASA or the FBI. And then we can understand that from there. Then we also have the pictorial mark. The pictorial mark is just an image of what that logo is and what that company stands for, and also what the company's name is. A lot of times there's no words whatsoever or letters. It's just the image itself. Much like Apple computers, they use the apple with the bite mark out of it. Simple and very respective to Apple. And then finally we have Google, the word mark. We went over this a little bit earlier, but a word mark is just the company's name in on itself. But other than that, that's all I got. I wanted to give you all a few examples of logos and how they tie into symbols and how they have different meanings and different understandings. Now, do keep in mind, you have your reply post due Saturday evening, and then your written assignments due Sunday. This will help you out with your written assignment. And then also make sure you have your live lecture turned in as well. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Message me. Please take a look at the end of the lecture. There's definitely ways to go about it. I also provided examples and teams as well. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. But other than that, thank you for being awesome. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope to see everyone next week as well for lecture on Monday. And that's all I got. So take it easy. Bye-bye. Enjoy. Be safe as always. And hope everyone has a great weekend. All right. Take it easy. Bye.